Today we're talking about wheel cleaners, and importantly, why you should stop using most of them and switch to something that can be safer, more cost effective, and is going to get you almost the same exact results. We're going to go through a few different options, talk about wheel cleaners in general, when and why you should be using those, and just talk about this overall theme that I'm really talking about here in 2026 is you guys actually sitting down and thinking about the products you're using, why you're using those products, and if there's some alternatives that can actually get you the same exact clean for cheaper and that can be actually a lot safer. So welcome back to the channel. Let's jump into it. Well, I know this will probably be quite a controversial video because everybody's got their favorite wheel cleaner and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. All I'm trying to do here is get you guys to think a little bit more, become a better detailer by being more informed and also helping you on the wallet side of things, of not spending so much money cleaning and maintaining your vehicle and really sitting down and just thinking about why am I using this product instead of using something else that I can save money with that's doing the same exact job at a much safer rate. Now, wheels and tires are a very harsh environment on our vehicle. I think most of us, if you're watching this channel, you know that, you understand it. You see a lot of heat in these areas, you see a lot of contamination from either brake dust or road environments. They are just an extremely harsh area. So a lot of the times it makes sense that you need a cleaner to clean these areas up. Now, in general, I am a huge fan of ceramic coatings in general. There's pros and cons to them. Yes, they can be quite expensive. Yes, they're tedious to install. But I think one of the things, especially when it comes to wheels, that a lot of people don't understand and why wheel coatings get a bad rap is because they don't last very long. And I think most people don't understand it's actually the chemical you're using to weekly maintain these that is actually breaking down that coating, not making it last as long as it actually should. Now, in front of the Model 3 here, we have a couple of different options when it comes to wheel cleaners. Now, in general, wheel cleaners are all trying to do the same exact thing of actually cleaning your wheels. Now, there is a wide variety of how these products actually do that based on the chemistry and the technology inside of these products to actually break that down. So, over here, you've got something like Armor Detail Supply's wheel cleaner. You've got iron removing wheel cleaner from Geon. These are pH neutral products, and these are products you've probably very frequently seen on Instagram that are going to go in there, break down iron deposits. Likely they're going to turn the wheel bright purple if you've got a heavy amount of contamination and brake dust on your wheel. It's going to bleed that down. You scrub them off, rinse them, and the wheels come back to brand new. Now, while that is great, these are very safe, effective cleaners because they are pH neutral. The big drawback with this is a lot of the times, especially if you have coated wheels, these are completely overkill and you are spending a whole hell of a lot of money every single time you wash your car by using a product like this. Now, on the flip side, we move to acid wheel cleaners. And this always brings up an interesting topic when you talk about acid versus alkaline-based wheel cleaners, and what you should understand on either side. Using too strong alkaline-based wheel cleaner, using too strong acid wheel cleaner can damage your ceramic coating, can also actually damage your wheels. No matter which side it is, they both can be extremely strong and extremely caustic. Now I'm going to be doing some videos coming up here talking about pH in general and how it kind of affects things when you dilute it down. It doesn't get diluted as much as people actually think, and understanding just in general pH levels overall. It's a really fascinating concept. I'm kind of doing all my research to help you guys become more educated. Now, something like Kosh Chemie Magic Wheel Cleaner blends a little bit of the acidic side with something like Armor Detail Supply's iron removing wheel cleaner. This has that chemical that goes in there, breaks down those iron deposits, but also gets a little bit of a punch for being slightly acidic. Now, this is an acid-free wheel cleaner, but it also sits on the acidic side of the scale at a pH of 5.5. Now, overall, this is a very safe wheel cleaner because you are using it with water. It's diluting it down a little bit. But understand, this is also a product that is very, very expensive to use. A little bottle like that retails roughly around $19 to $20, maybe $21 in general. Becomes very, very cost effective to use every single time you're washing your car. Now, one thing I've also been seeing on the other side of the scale is a lot of alkaline based wheel cleaners out there. And these are nice because they both clean your wheels as well as your tires at the same time. Now this is a great example down here, Posh Deep Wheel Cleaner. This is more on the alkaline side of the scale. It's not super harsh in general, but this is a good safe product that when diluted down works extremely well and extremely effectively. What I often see though is a lot of products, something like Adam's Wheel and Tire Cleaner, being just overall too harsh in general. Now, if you look at the SDS sheet on Adam's Wheel and Tire Cleaner, you'll see concentrated, this is between a 12 and a 13 pH. Now, again, this comes down back to talking about protection for our wheels. A lot of the times I recommend ceramic coating it, and when you actually look at the data sheets or what the chemical coating manufacturer actually puts out in terms of pH resistance, a lot of these wheel coatings will have a pH resistance of pH of 2 to maybe 11. Something like Armor Detail Supply's wheel coating that I have on this particular car is between a 0 and a 13 pH. And what I often see is people apply wheel coatings. They're just using such strong wheel cleaners and tire cleaners pretty much every single time they wash their car. They get 6 months down the road, 9 months, maybe even a year, and the wheel coating is basically completely gone. So what should we use instead? Well, you can use something like an all-purpose cleaner. Now, again, this is not in general talking about an all-purpose cleaner is going to clean wheels that is, neglected for 3+ years and has no protection on it and is just absolutely caked in crap. That's when you're going to use, the more alkaline or acid side of the scale to really hit it. Now, again, coming back to acid, I think it's really interesting because I see in the comment section below a lot of people, especially mobile detailers, absolutely love acid wheel cleaners. And again, understand that whether it's acid or alkaline, at either side of the scale, they can both be pretty much the same amount harsh on your coatings, on your wheels in general. But I see a lot of guys use acid wheel cleaners because they're very cheap, they're very effective at cleaning, and requires minimal effort. And again, coming back to if we're washing our car frequently, if our wheels are coated, if your car is maintained properly, you don't need any of that. You can just use an all-purpose cleaner. So they are all trying to do the same exact thing, but again, I really want you guys to start thinking about this throughout this year, not only saving yourself some money, but also the time and effort you put into taking your wheels off, actually cleaning them, decontaminating them, maybe even polishing them, and then ceramic coating them. Instead of using crazy harsh chemicals, spending a ton of money every time, just use something that's a hell of a lot safer and a hell of a lot more cost effective. So we will get into a demo here. I'll show you all of that. Before though, I want to break down some costs just so you can start thinking about this a little bit more. So Armor Detail Supply's clean concentrated all-purpose cleaner for a gallon of this retails at $49.99. Now for cleaning our wheels and tires here, all we're really going to need is a 1 to 15 dilution. So 15 parts water, 1 part of our actual solution. So that breaks it down from $49.99 to 39 cents to make a 16-ounce bottle of it. Now over here, their wheel cleaner, again, a very great wheel cleaner. This is one of my favorites out there. They did an amazing job at masking that really harsh smell that a lot of these iron removers actually have in it. Phenomenal wheel cleaner. Again, pH neutral, very safe. This retails at $69.99 per gallon. Now, if you break that down, use 16 ounces of this, roughly about $8.75. It's clearly a heck of a lot more cost effective to buy this in a gallon form than spending, $17, $18, $20 per bottle. But you can still see there's a big difference. Now, I quickly want to talk about pH on this because I know a lot of people, just after my little discussion earlier on in this video, if you look at the SDS sheet on this, you'll see that it's between a 10 and 11 pH. Now, a lot of the times we have a little bit of a range just for variances on batches, the raw ingredients that actually go into products. Getting an exact pH can be a little bit tricky. But if we take a pH of 10.5, we dilute this product 1 to 15. Again, 15 parts water, 1 part solution. That roughly brings our pH down to a 9.3. Now, being this doesn't have that iron removing chemical in it like this does over here, we need a little bit more of that punch. So generally we consider pH neutral to be right at 7, of course, but you can bump that out a little bit. From a pH to 6 to a pH of 8 is roughly considered pH neutral. So bumping up to a 9.3, yes, it's more on the alkaline side, but it still falls within the regions of being what we would consider generally safe. Now, again, consider that you're typically spraying down your wheel first. You already have water on there, spraying it down. I also like to top that with a pH neutral snow foam when we're cleaning our wheels to give a little bit more lubrication and just generally help cleaning. So it's going to even come down even more than that. So we'll do a little demo here. I'll show you the end result. It's going to be a very straightforward process. So again, just consider, do I actually need such a strong chemical, and do I actually need to spend more when I can do the same with less? Now, I'll show you on these wheels. Yes, this is an electric car. We have a lot of regen. This car gets driven hard. I recently just took this on a little canyon run. So you can see here, the wheels absolutely caked in brake dust. Even here on the barrels, they are just completely and absolutely filthy. Generally what I'll do here, I'm gonna rinse off the wheel first to break down all of that. Again, having a nice wheel coating on there. This is Armor Detail Supplies wheel coating. Very, very good job at releasing a lot of that dirt and grime. And you can see genuinely barely even need to actually touch this, but we want to clean up the tires. So we're going to come in here with our clean. We're going to hit all the tires. That's the other nice thing about this. You can just get a nice little clean on the tires and not have to use, again, a very heavy tire cleaner. Tire cleaners can actually be very, very strong. So I'm also going to grab my pH neutral snow foam here. But we're going to grab our tire scrub brush. Now we're going to come in here with a little lug nut brush, just quickly touch up all these. Now, I guess I should also mention, if you have, if you're frequently maintaining your car, I mean, even using an all-purpose cleaner is not necessarily required. You could literally on these wheels with, yeah, they're dirty. They definitely needed a good clean, but you could literally rinse these off, use a pH neutral soap, and you're pretty much good to go. So do consider that as well. And again, the concept of this video is not to say, wheel cleaners are bad. It's just to understand for you guys, or help you think about and talk about with yourself, why am I using this product when I could be using less and getting the same effective clean on it? Always important here, we're also going to hit the barrels as well. These are the areas that get the most dirty. Anybody can clean wheel faces. Barrels are always a little bit trickier, to say the least. Lastly, we'll come in here with our little wash mitt. This is just going to help us get these a little bit cleaner. Get all the nice nooks and crannies in here. And then lastly, we'll get behind the spokes, always important to do. All right, so now we'll dry this off. I'll show you the quick before and after, and that'll make our video. And just like that, with literally 2 to 3 minutes of effort, we've got a perfectly clean wheel. Our tire is back to looking just nice and clean. And that is all the effort we actually need to do. So again, this overarching theme of put protection on your vehicle and actually maintain it, and then don't use strong chemicals when you don't actually need them. I think a lot of people get into the case of, leaving a car for 3, 4, 5, 6 months without washing it. And then of course, yeah, you're going to need some more cleaning power on there. I think it's just an overall concept with detailing. And I think a lot of you watching this that are, weekend warriors or professional detailers, like, we like to keep our stuff clean, and just understand that, spending more money on something like a iron removing wheel cleaner or using something something like Adam's wheel and tire every single time is just not necessary when you can, you know, quickly clean things up and basically bring it back to new. So I'll take a fresh, clean microfiber towel here. I'm just gonna wipe this so you guys can see our cleaning job, and you'll see literally back to perfect with 2 to 3 minutes of effort. If I come back here, again, you can see the before and after. Would normally never recommend dry wiping it, but filthy. The tires are just looking gross. This car needs a little bit of bath. Yeah, that's some Noki and Hakkapeliitas just being absolutely incinerated by 500 electric horsepowers there. So again, I hope you guys enjoy this video. This is not to say that you'll never need a wheel cleaner, but it's just to start making you think and maybe rewire your brain a little bit of what products do I actually need in my arsenal? How can I save some money, get a very safe clean, and you know, just enjoy the process of cleaning my car without having to worry about, you know, spending so much money on dedicated wheel cleaners and a dedicated tire cleaner and a dedicated this and a dedicated that, when you can have one product do a various amount of things. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it'll bring up some nice discussions. Please be respectful in the comments. I know a lot of people just, they get so based on this is the only product you should ever use. And it's like, have an open mind to this and, you know, understand that there's some great chemicals out there that might not be dedicated and you can get the same exact results at a fraction of the cost. And yeah, that's what it's all about. So hope you enjoy this one. We'll see you in the next one soon. Bye-bye.